Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Sports Betting. I'm your host, Mindy Hahn from the Tool Ladies That Bet Network here. And of course, the time has come for college football week 2. Today we're going to kind of take a look at what we call the bet the number theory, the brainchild of Dave Bartu here today. He's going to be our special guest. He's going to go over the theory. He's going to give you some picks and predictions. He's going to give us the rundown of the leans and maybe where we should put our money here tomorrow over the weekend. So I can't wait. So here, live from Oregon in his tree stand, is the one and only Dave Bartu. There he is. Hey, I
Dude,
hear there's what is it? Elk?
it's
Is
elk.
that what you're looking for?
Yeah, no, it's elk archery season. Opened last weekend,
Okay.
and opted to go to the duck game, which was
Amazing. 80 some
horrific,
points.
horrific to sit through that shit. Oh my God, 108 minutes for a first half. Shoot me. And it was 45-7. So I mean, look, going to the duck game's cool, but a hour and a half plus first half is not cool.
And full
Not cool.
disclosure, that is your alma mater, right?
Yeah,
You
it
did
is.
go to
It
Oregon.
is, and I am harder on Oregon than anybody, any
I'm
team.
going to
There
say
is
that's
there is no bias with me, because I really hammer everything they do from a pessimistic standpoint. But I think generally I'm pessimistic because fans get over their skis. That's why people bet a lot of
true.
overs, and that's why people drunk bet. Remember we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
my
out there,
brother. He's the best
don't
drunk better I know.
don't
Not him.
drunk bet. It's bad. Don't
I
do it.
know. I've seen him. He's like
Don't do it.
$100 on Georgetown versus Creighton -8 with 2 minutes to go. Don't do
Oh
it.
man, I've done it a few times. I got to admit, I'll be sitting at home Friday, Saturday night. Let's say, last month WNBA's on. I catch the game late. I'm like, well, the EPA is over 45 and a half, and it's still at 45 and a half. Oh, what the hell? Let's just
Too much
jump in,
gin.
right?
Too much gin. All right.
Oh
Well,
man.
so tell us a little bit about the bet the number theory, so folks that are not familiar kind of understand what's happening with the modeling, because of course you do EPA data
Yep.
analysis, and of course we don't really have that sort of pace of play yet. We don't have offensive and defensive efficiency so much because we're early in the system or early in the season.
Yeah.
So now we have this system that we go through instead. Tell us
I,
about it.
yeah, this I came up with this system a couple years ago, and you saw the evolution of it, right?
Right.
When it first came out, man, 2 years ago, it was, oh my, that first September was ridiculous. I thought I was going to retire. I mean, that it wasn't like a week; it was like a month of just badass NFL and college football. Um, the reason I came up with it, though, folks, is twofold. There's two reasons for it. One is I love simple betting systems. I don't like the whole, who's playing, who's not playing. I'm not a handicapper, right? I like finding a system and going with it. And it really evolved out of wanting something outside of bet the number, because bet the number in football, it's gone really fast, right? We got to wait 4 weeks for NFL, and then we get another 13 weeks of NFL, and then it's the playoffs, and then it's gone. And so I really wanted to bet in September. And then also in college football, EPA doesn't work.
Right.
EPA, when you're
The
talking about,
parody, right?
right, you got to have parity, right? Men's college basketball, cool. Women's college basketball, college football, no. WNBA has been really good. NFL, really good. NBA, I mean, you saw the results of
Good.
coming out with NBA last year. That was wicked when we
Right.
developed that in March. Um, so bet the number actually feeds off of two really smart groups of people: line makers and line takers. Okay, so when the line comes out for college football on Sunday or Monday for the NFL, okay, you got a group of really smart people making that line, right? And then you have another group of really smart people taking lines, and that
Right.
line moves, right? Now, the nice thing about the NFL and other sport and even college football is the modeling is generally the same. One smart group of people has the same modeling. The other smart group of people has their power rankings. This has gone on for a long time.
Right.
So what I decided to do is start tracking trends in line movement. Okay, so we did the NFL totals or sides yesterday. We should have
Correct.
done the totals. We went 1-1
Right.
yesterday.
We had
We
the
we
Chiefs
missed
under.
we missed the KC side, but the under hit, and that trend, it was 13-6 heading into last night. Now it's 14-6. So what I'm focusing on is the opening line and the closing line. Now, a lot of people say, how do you bet the closing line? Do you just sit there and wait for the game to kick off? Well, we all have apps, right? So
Sure.
all of us, we can do that. But you know something? That is a pain in the
Right.
ass.
I mean, because
Okay.
it's not like you don't have 30 games going off all at one time, right?
Right. I mean, we might have 11 bets tomorrow morning for college football. We're not going to sit there and hit them all. So what I'll do is I try to bet all of them as close to Saturday morning as I can. Might be Friday evening before I start drinking, right? It might be Saturday morning. Clearly,
Well,
hopefully,
plus, I
before
mean,
I
you're
start
out
drinking as
hunting,
well.
so you have to get this done in advance, right?
Right. So you need to bet it. Now every once in a while you're going to get something that closes. It moves right at the kickoff, and you're like, ah, shit, I didn't get the number. Right? That window closed, and we had a wrong bet. But we've all done that, right? We've all looked at our bet ticket and go, ah, man, I bet the under, I lost it, and then we look and we go, oh, I won, I accidentally hit the over.
Right.
I just call those 50-50s, right? You're going to get some of those in your favor, you're not. And then every once in a while, you might be on one where you go, I don't want to wait for it to move, so just don't bet it.
Yeah.
Right? That's one of the
You don't have
disciplines of
to.
sports betting, in my opinion. When your mind, your body, when something says, I'm just not comfortable with that, and I'm going to in these sides for college football, one of these I don't like. I think the talent discrepancy is too big, and I think the offense and defense is too unknown to make this bet. And I'll get to it at the end, but I'm not going to bet it. I'll bet the other 7, no problem.
All right.
But this last one, at the end of the evening, I mean, it's tomorrow, late night kick, I am staying off of it. So as we go through these, we're playing trends. We're playing line movement. That's it, right? And I'm going to give you a window of where to bet, and when that and I'll give you a percentage. Everything that we're talking about over the last 12 years has hit. The trend has hit 65% or better.
Right, because that's your variance, your cutoff. It has to be 60% or more.
Better. That's a heavy lean. Now, I do all of them. I mean, I do all the games, right?
Yeah.
And so it's $1 a week at patreon.com/EPA Sports. You can see all my notes for NFL and college football. But for the show, we're just going to focus on the 8 spreads that I'm going to play, or the 8 spreads that are, I'm going to play 7. but
We'll talk about 8.
We could skip to the end and look. Everybody bet Cal plus 6.5 because I'm going to stay off of it, and the model says we're going to do it. So,
right.
But I'll
win for us. You win for the good guys.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that game in a second. But right out of the bat. Now, is this game tonight? No, it's Saturday morning kick.
Yeah, this Notre Dame, NC State. Yeah, I mean, it's
Notre Dame, NC State. Now, this is kind of a tricky one, folks. Okay, it opened -7.5 Notre Dame. Actually, we're talking about NC State here. So it opened +7.5 NC State at home. It's currently sitting at +7.5. That's your window.
No
7.5. Okay. If Saturday morning, now this might be one you wait on. Okay, but this thing's been out there long enough. I don't think it's moving. Saturday morning, if it moves up or down, you're off. Okay, I've already bet this one. You know, I'll give you that because I don't think the line's going to move. It's been out there for 2 weeks. Okay, we're at +7.5, but technically by the system, you need to be waiting for it to close at 7.5. Now, if it does, games that open at +7.5 for the home team dog and close at +7.5 home team dog, those have hit. That home team dog has covered 71% of the time in the last 12 years. Okay, so this
I don't mind. I mean, I kind of like to win at 70%. So yeah, I mean, I'll be taking NC State plus the 7.5 there.
Yeah, so that's where it's at. So that's one where the window, it's a small window for us. It's a small window for us. So now the next one is a big window. We got a nice
Yeah.
solid window here. We got a nice solid window here. We got Troy at Kansas State. All right. So outside of the trends, we're betting the home team. We're betting the most talented team. We're betting the best coach team. I love that stuff.
I mean,
Okay.
how are they going to survive without, Taylor Martinez getting cut from the Lions?
Look, it is. You're a smartass. You're a smartass. You're a Kansas State hater. I can smell the hate from
Taylor
here.
Martinez, maybe hater.
Yeah, no.
Adrian
But
Martinez,
anyway,
not Taylor, not Team Magic. Adrian.
so back to this game.
Okay.
It opened Kansas State -15 at home. Now -15 in the last 12 years in the first 3 weeks of September is a big number. It's a big number because if it moves up, and it has right now, it's sitting at -16.5. So your window is a close at -15.5 to -17. We're at -16.5 right now. If it closes in that window, that is the bet we want. So right now on the hot sheet, I am Kansas State -16.5. If it closes in that window over the last 12 years, that has won at a 67% rate. So every 3 games, you're winning 2 of them. So that is rock solid there. And I love betting talent, location, coaching edge as well. So all of those things add up to, I really like this bet beyond just the trends. I know we're not supposed to be emotional about these things, but come on. I mean, unless you're trying to bet for your mortgage, we got to have fun with this stuff. Right? If you're trying to pay for your mortgage, okay, you can be serious, you can not smile, but you got to think about some of these other things that are fun with it. Wow, look at the next line, Mindy. Look at the next line. Oh my God. I tell you, 3 years ago, all my modeling, I would never touch a 30+ point spread.
On UNLV and Michigan?
Not freaking once. Now, okay, what is concerning with UNLV is they sucked ass last year. Okay, like huge. No, UNLV sucked, and their offense always sucked. Okay, but now you got a new head coach. You got Odom. You got a defensive-minded coach. You got a 3-star offensive coordinator on that side of the ball. So there's a little bit of unknown with UNLV. But check out this number. This game opened Michigan -34. Now that sounds like a weird number, and it is, because it doesn't come up a lot. But when it does, and it moves in favor of the home team, right now it's -36.
Right.
So it started at -37, so we're at 34, and it's gone up. When it goes up, and I don't give a shit what number it lands on, 34.5, 35, 35.5, 36, 36.5, 37, it doesn't matter. If it goes up and closes higher than 34 in the last 12 years, in the month of September, home team covers it 90% of the time.
That's insane. 90%.
Totally insane. Now let's contrast it with, I think, is it Georgia? Georgia's -42. And I took a look at -42, right? This is how important all these numbers are in these power rankings, because they shift constantly. So -34 in September isn't going to work in October. It's not going to work in November. Okay, but it works now. As college football evolves, everything else evolves with it. So -42 for Georgia. -42 as an open has come up 28 times in the last 12 years.
That's
28 times, right? The home team is 14-14 against the spread.
No kidding.
Right? But here we are at -34, and if it moves up, now if it moves down, if it moved to 33.5, 33, there's actually no bet because it's more 50-50. Right? So for those of you listening, don't read into, well, if it goes up, bet the home team. If it goes down, bet the road team. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying if it goes up, you bet the home team. If it goes down, we got nothing. We're not betting it. That's not the way it works. If it went down, we'd be talking about that trend or avoiding it. So there we are. We're through that. So, oh my God, look at the next spread. Look at the next spread. 8-18. Is that what it is? No, it opened at
North Carolina.
It opened at 13. Okay. Now this is interesting because we opened at +13 on the road for App State. It's all the way up to +18. So clearly there are a lot of people in Raleigh with tight sport pants because they beat a South Carolina team that couldn't move the freaking football. Okay. I mean, Gene Chizik has
their favorite.
Gene Chiswick has one fucking good day in 3 years, and all of a sudden they're everybody's favorite. So here's the thing: is it's a big move, but here's what's interesting: is as long as this closes above 16, the move is actually too big. You know how people say, "Oh, don't chase the public." Well, when the move is really big, sometimes you do that. Now, in this case, you don't. All right.
Okay.
In this case, if it closes above 16, if it's at 15 and a half or below, we're off of it, folks. We're not betting it. All right. So right now it's at 18. So I don't think it's dropping below 16 at all, Mindy. All right.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
if you want to put the slip in right now, I'm cool
You can
with
do
that.
it.
I'm good with that. All right. I like it right now at 18 because I do think it's got to pull back. I mean, it really, really does. And especially after we do this video, watch it pull back. I am not kidding. You'll see it go down to 17 and a half, 17 by kick when something like this happens. But when it closes above 16 with this open in the first 3 weeks of September, the last 12 years,
I
road
can see
team.
the huge variance.
Yeah, it's big variance, but the road team is 11 and 4
11.
covering
Right.
this move. 11 and 4. So if y'all want to jump on plus 18 right now, cool. If you want to wait for it to drop to plus 17 and a half, plus 17 tomorrow, that's cool too. But that's your window. Your window is plus 16 or bigger.
16 or 18.
Below plus 16, we're off of it. Okay.
Right. Got it.
Oh my
Didn't
God!
do
Look
that.
at these spreads. Look at these.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
just
they're all big. SMU,
I'm-
Oklahoma.
right.
Wow.
I'm
I
just
mean,
starting
a
to look
huge
at all these.
victory by Oklahoma.
Yeah. Okay. Oklahoma. You know, I don't. I forgot. I didn't highlight that one. I'm looking at my cheat sheet here, and I didn't highlight. God damn it, dude! I do not want to bet Brett Venables. I don't want to bet
Ever?
that.
Ever?
Do you?
I don't
Okay.
know.
So
I don't know. You got to tell us.
remember what I was saying before about betting Kansas State, better coaching, better talent, home field. Okay. Brett Venables had a year last year. Rookie head coaches that had a year like Brett Venables metrics did last year, none of them this century make it to year 5. Okay. I hate betting bad head coaches. Right now, lost a lot of players, a lot of volatility at Oklahoma. I know what the sheet says. Okay. I am
Mhm.
really having a hard time swallowing betting, not Oklahoma, not the spread, Venables. Got a hard time with it. It's like betting Sarkisian to cover too, right? It's just there's a
Yeah.
heartburn. There's a pain. You're like, I know this head coach ain't very good, and I'm betting on him. What the hell is wrong with me, right?
Right.
And so the emotional side of it. But here it is. This is a
It's
massive,
massive.
massive trend, folks. This is a massive trend, folks. It opened at minus 18. It's sitting at minus 16 and a half Oklahoma. 28 and 7 in the last 12 years in September on this trend. 28 and God.
Does it
I
make
do
you want
not.
to change your mind just a little bit?
I do not want to talk myself into this. Oh, well, okay. For everybody at home, though, if you're on Oklahoma, good on you because the trends absolutely back it up. If your model says
Right.
Oklahoma and you can stomach betting on Brett Venables, then good
Then do
on
it.
you. It is. I got to bet that. I'm going to have to bet that. That is a massive, massive trend. Massive trend. So
It is
Oklahoma.
pretty darn big.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Shit, I hate doing it. I'm just like it feels like I'm setting money on fire. Literally.
Money burner, Dave Bartu.
You know, but SMU, yeah, I'm not convinced of them either. So, all right. So we're on Oklahoma minus 16 and a half. As long as it stays at minus 16 and a half to minus 17 and a half. If it hits minus 18 tomorrow, we're off. Okay. So if you're going to make your bets tonight when you're going to bed, if it's still sitting at 16 and a half, look, it's probably not going to move a point and a half because it hasn't moved in the last week. So I think that one's pretty rock solid there on that spread. North Texas and
versus your Florida International team that has trouble scoring.
Dude, I love Florida International. It's my boys.
I know.
God, they beat
got me some money last year hitting that over 3, conference victories.
Right, the total wins. Yeah, we hit the total wins last year. That was solid. That was one of the highest graded total wins we had. on the board last year. But Georgia State was the number one under. I think they hit that by the first week in November. They were horrid. But anyways, North Texas, it opened at -17, and it's all the way down to -12.5. People are really gobbling it up. And that is a really huge move. But when it moves down, and this is a really small sample size, folks, so you can stay off of this for two reasons. One, really huge move. Okay. This open and this move has only happened 3 times in the first 3 weeks of September in the last 12 years, only 3 times. The road team, though, 3-0. Okay. In the 5-week window, so in the first 5 weeks of the season, this trend is 12-2. So this is a really strong trend for North Texas to cover. So if you can get 12.5 right now, I would take that. I wouldn't wait for it to try to drop. I think this is as far as it's going to go. Like I said, we've only had this size of a drop 3 times in the last 12 years in September off of this open. So the road team is still 3-0, covering anything between -12.5 and -16.5. Okay, so it doesn't matter about the drop. They've covered all of those things. So I do like North Texas, or at least the bet the number likes North Texas -12.5 on the road at FIU this week.
All right. Another big spread coming up, Dave.
Oh, yeah. And this team last week got freaking hammered by Bama. Hammered by Bama. So we get Missouri at home. We get Missouri with a better staff. We get Missouri with better talent. We get Missouri at home. And we get Middle Tennessee, who just got beat to shit against Alabama last week. Right? I mean, we know what the score, what was it, 56-7? We know the scoreboard was bad, but the physicality of it, right? The physicality of that game. And now you're turning around playing another SEC team. Whoever the AD is at Middle Tennessee State hates Coach Stockstill. Hates that guy. Seriously. Who schedules this shit? Not only do you get two straight
about the Benjamins.
You get 2 straight losses, but you are going to physically be beat to hell going into conference. Stupid scheduling. Stupid. And I hope we profit off of it. Missouri -20.5.
Right. It has moved like 3.5 points.
It opened at -16, folks, and it moved up. Okay. It moved up pretty good, up 3.5 points. All right. Our ceiling on this is 21.5. If it hits 21.5, we're off. Okay. So our window is -17.5 up to -21, and then we're off. But the win rate on this one in our window of September is 69%. So I like Missouri covering this. Not only do I like the trends, I like the situation as I just described: talent, location, coaching, and a beat to hell team, physically beat to hell team. I like all of those things.
Awesome.
Oh,
is this your team? No, not
we get
yet.
some Rich Rod. Rich Rod on the board against Coastal Carolina. Now, last year I'd have said, dude, you're betting against Jamie Chadwell. You're a freaking moron, Bartu, right? Freaking moron. But now we're betting against Tim Beck. Dude. That guy always looks angry, right? Little
Mr.
RBF
Syria.
all the time. I mean, even if they score a touchdown, RBF all the way. But this one opened Coastal Carolina -12, and it moved up. So it moved against Jacksonville State. It moved up to -14. So Jacksonville State right now is getting more points in this game. 3-week window. If it closes at 12.5, -12.5, or actually I should say +12.5 or higher for Jacksonville State, take the points. We got 71% win rate in the last 12 years on that move and close. So our window, folks, +12.5 to +14. You want to take the +14 right now? I'm down with that. That has hit 71% of the time in this window in the last 12 years.
Awesome. And look at, you even said 81 in a 5-week window too. It even gets bigger and better as you go.
Yeah, this trend is going to get stronger. It's going to get stronger. You're betting into a stronger trend. So this kind of move in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now is actually going to even be a stronger bet. Who knows where it's going to go in November, but the window is very good right now. So we got one left. And I accidentally previewed it earlier on.
Could it be Cal?
I can't bet this. I can't. Okay. And here's why, folks. Number one, the trend says bet it. This opened Auburn -7. It dropped down to -6.5. Okay, but look at all of the unknowns that we have in this game. We got Cal's first home game. We got Cal with a new offensive coordinator. Now defense should still be shitty, but Jake Spavital is a 4-star offensive coordinator. Cal has some skill. Okay, Auburn. We got no idea what we're getting, right? We know Hugh's great. We know Phil Montgomery's good. We know Ron Roberts is a good defensive coordinator, but this is a brand new staff with top 15 talent, right? I mean, on paper, Auburn should beat the shit out of these guys, right? So that's what's getting in my head is Auburn should beat the shit out of Cal. I mean, if I look at this and go, I mean, when I saw Auburn -7, I was like, I thought it'd been -13, -10.5. Right? I know it's on the road. It's a late kick. It's 2 time zones, or is it 3? Alabama to Cal. I don't. Is Alabama Eastern or Central?
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way, this game is screwing with my mind because I know how good Auburn can be, but there's just a lot of variables here I don't like. And I know I'm talking big, and I'll probably just end up betting it because, well, it's my model.
What you do is you bet the system.
I bet my system. I bet my model. If Cal wins and covers, you'll know I didn't bet it, right? If Auburn wins, if Auburn wins 51-7, then you'll know I bet it, and I'll just.
Oh, I'm sure we'll hear about it the next couple of weeks, right?
No. Hey, you can't complain about the losses, right? You mean you can, but nobody cares, right?
Yeah,
because you hit the enter button when you bet, when I bet, when anybody listening, it doesn't matter even if you buy picks or you use our data, right? Ultimately, there's only one pick that is made, one decision. Boop, hitting the enter button, right? So, we got to take our losses, but we get all the glory for when we win. Right. So just remember that, folks, when you're out there, a couple of things. Don't drunk bet. Right. Don't drunk bet.
Right. That's number one.
Number 2, don't gamble on your sports betting. Right. If the system says Cal and you bet the opposite, you're gambling on your sports betting. Right. And 3, stick to your system. Right. Stick to your system. And I guess there would be 4 is if you win, that's your win. All on you. You made the decision.
Right. You did it.
And I hope everybody crushes it this weekend.
All right. Well, so tell us a little bit more about where we can get the hot sheet, Dave. It's out there right now. People can check it out. Every single game is modeled. You do the modeling for WNBA, Major League Baseball. We got college football and, of course, NFL. So tell us about it.
And college football. Well, look, the BTN has 36 heavy leans this weekend between NFL and college football. Last night we had 2 of them, right? We had Kansas City, Detroit under, and Kansas City -4.5. So we did split that. But not only is there's 36 bets out there or 36 heavy leans, there's notes on every game. Right. There's a lot of games out there that lean 55 to 64% that I don't play, but I make the notes on every single one. So when you buy the hot sheet for $1, you get a trend preview on every college and FBS versus FBS and every pro game. So it is a hell of a lot of work. I would love to know who offers a better value out there for data due diligence than what we do at EPA Sports.
What would you say? It takes you about 5 hours to go through all those numbers?
It's a long time. It is a long time, and it is irritatingly fun because when it gets hot, it is just smoking. So I enjoy doing it because it gives me a perception of what I expect out of a game. And it's always interesting to weigh what has happened in the past versus what people actually think are going to happen in a game.
Exactly. Well, cool. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate your time again. Good luck, with your betting this weekend, and of course with your elk hunting. I mean, it looks like you're ready to go.
That's the important thing. I guess that's my full disclosure is I'll be hunting. Right? I'll be hunting all weekend when these games are going on. So I'll be betting all this stuff.
I know it's kind of interesting, Dave, that you talk about that you don't ever watch the games, like ever.
I will in
Okay, I'm not gonna
October.
say ever, but
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of them.
yeah,
For two reasons. I got a lot of other stuff going on.
yeah.
I scoreboard watch a lot, right?
Mhm.
I'll if a game's close, I'll go try to check it out. But I got a lot going on. But the final thing is I tell stories with numbers, and if I watch the games too much, I usually when I watch them, there's no sound because I
Yeah,
don't. No, I know that sounds
yeah.
funny, but I'm here telling a story with numbers, right? And you heard all the poison pills in my head that I get just from social
About
media.
all
I'm
of
not
it.
even
Yeah.
watching these games, just watching the scoreboard, right? I watch the Cal and the Auburn scoreboard going, am I really going to bet this? Right? If I didn't know what happened, then I wouldn't be so as emotional about it. So I consciously try to stay away from it just so I am better at betting and I'm
Right.
better at telling a story. So, but a lot of it, like September, dude, I only get so much elk hunting. So I can watch football. I can watch football October, November, December. I can watch replays of the game. I don't get a whole lot of time out in the wilderness like I'd like to.
All right. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon. All right. So, again, maybe we should do a little bit of a recap. I know it was kind of a lot of information. That way we could kind of put it all, all together here at once. First play, we're looking at NC State plus 7.5. Then you're looking at Kansas State minus 16.5. We then went to Michigan minus 36 over UNLV. And then we're looking at North Texas minus 12.5, Missouri minus 20.5. And then, of course, we got Jackson State. And is that it? Oh, no, we got a couple more here. We got Appalachian State minus or plus 18. And then, of course, Oklahoma minus 16.5. But those are what we're looking for here so far. Good luck this weekend. Take care. You can always, DM us if you have any questions on Twitter, Two Old Ladies That Bet, or you can reach out to Dave at EPA Sports on Twitter as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. We'll have fun. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.